How's everybody doing today? Thanks for hanging out in another video. Today, I'm going to show you how to make some compost tea, whether that's with some purchased fertilizer or compost right out of your compost bin in your backyard. Let's check it out. Jason from Toadstool Gardens. Alright, I'm gonna make some compost tea today out of this coop poop organic fertilizer and some compost right out of my compost bin. This has been sitting and being turned for probably 3-4 years now out of this section. You know, I just leave all the chunks and everything right in there. Now this one is from the coop poop, and I did this one yesterday afternoon, so it hasn't been quite 24 hours, but I recommend you leave it sit 24 hours. So there's a little bit of granular left in there at the bottom, but that's pretty much what your final product is going to look like if you're using the coop poop, or if you're using like a bagged cow manure or something like that. So to start with this one, always check the back of the bag to see if there's recommendations on a compost tea, like on this one right there. So 3 cups coop poop with 3 gallons of water, so basically a cup a gallon. Let sit for 24 hours, strain the liquid, although every time I make it out of this, there's really nothing left to strain. And apply 1 to 2 cups per plant. And for me, 1 to 2 cups is roughly about 20 seconds a plant down at the base of the plant and the soil. So we got this one already all marinated. So we're gonna make a new batch with the granule, and we're gonna fill the bucket up from our compost at home. Now this is 1 shovelful worth of a 5-gallon pail. So just get a nice hefty shovelful, put it right in your pail, and we'll fill it up with water almost to the top so it's not splashing out when we're stirring. Okay, we'll give this guy a little stir, and then we'll get him out of there so we got some room for our others. So I got to empty about 4-gallon bucket. We're going to take our coop poop, and I've got 1 cup measuring cup. Put it right in there. I've also found 2 cups is the equivalent of an almost full Solo Red cup. So almost all the way up to the top, and even if you go up to the top, it's probably not going to make much of a difference, just because this is organic fertilizer and the NPK ratio is not super high. So you're not going to burn your plants if you put a little more in there. Okay. Gonna fill that up as far as we think it's gonna be, about 3 gallons, because it's a cup per gallon. And this is about a 4-gallon bucket, so we're gonna leave about 4, maybe 5 inches of headspace, and that's about 3 gallons. Okay. And any chunks that you see floating around on the top, just kind of break them up, because they'll be a little dry in there. Then I like to give it a little stir so it doesn't cake up on the bottom. I like to stir it probably 4, 5, 6 times in the 24 hours that it's marinating, just because a lot of that, some of it'll just stay dry if it's clumped up at the bottom. I mean, eventually it'll absorb all of it. But so that is the one we just made out of the coop poop. We're gonna put him down the side so he can marinate for 24 hours. Then we got the compost directly out of my compost bin. Perfect. Now, a good rule of thumb on homemade compost is if it has 0 smell, it's probably ready to go to put on plants. So we got our 5-gallon pail, ratio to 1 standard shovel full overflowing of compost. And we'll mix this with 5 gallons of water. Got our 5-gallon bucket, and we'll fill it up almost to the top. Now on this one, if you have a lot of chunks in your compost, you're probably going to want to strain it a little bit. Just dump it over the top of like some 1/2-inch chicken wire or something, just to catch the big chunks. I haven't found too many huge chunks in this one, but you never know. I never strain it. I just pour it directly into the watering can and water away. Sometimes you got to take the end off, or otherwise it gets a little plugged, because all this can go right onto your garden if it's ready to go. It doesn't have to necessarily be compost. Just the plants, or compost tea, the plants will just absorb it a lot faster if it's in like a liquid form. Okay, so same with this one like we did with the chicken coop poop. We're gonna put this down and let it sit. And we'll come back to the one we made yesterday. We'll give that a final stir right here. That's looking real good. Got that nice brown color. Now you can do this with almost any variety of like organic granule fertilizer. Just for one, be careful if you're gonna do like a foliar feed, make sure you do it out of sunlight and make sure you start with like half the recommended dose, just to see how your plants are gonna react, because all plants are different. That's looking and feeling great. But a regular dose, mix up. After 24 hours, it's ready. I mean, you can even go 48 hours, but yeah, any kind of organic granule fertilizer is going to work, as long as you're not over the ratio of like a 10-10-10, just depending on how your plants are going to react. But even up to there, you're not going to have a problem. It's pretty much the same ratio. I think this one's a I believe it's a 243. So anything under 555, you have absolutely no problem with. Just look on the bag to see if they have a recipe for compost tea first. That is looking great. We got our nice color. I think we are ready to do some watering. So when I'm out here in the greenhouse, just walking around, like not all my plants always need water. So I like to use this little guy right here. It easily goes into the bucket. I can fill up right there and just start watering away. Give these strawberries a little drink here. Now I'm not giving these guys a full dose because they're just in little 3-inch pots, so just a little shot is all they need for right now. Give these chives a little bit. This mint is looking pretty good, but I haven't given it any fertilizer for a few weeks, so it's going to get a little bit. Basils definitely need some. You can see the discoloration in the leaves. Dead giveaway on a nitrogen deficiency is yellow leaves. Ooh, vanilla orange basil. That's a new one of mine. We got a lemon spice here. All right, well let's get some of that other stuff here. All right, I got my compost bin watering can. So you take the end sprinkler off so you don't have any chunks build up on you. And I know we just made this, but I've been stirring it for a little while. Maybe we'll give it another stir, but just for the sake of showing you guys what to do, because there's going to be chunks in it at the bottom no matter what. But all that can go right onto your plants as long as your compost has been sitting for a while. Okay, let's go over here and give these little shadow boxing tomatoes a little bit. These have only been planted for about 2 weeks, so they're just starting to root in. And we'll give the worms a little shot too. Bubble drops, JS. Finish out the rest here. You know, if you do the compost, don't dump it on the plant like I just did. You want to go right down by the base. It's not as much of a deal if you do it with the coop poop, because that's not going to have much sediment. But if you use that stuff from your compost pile, you're probably going to have some compost left in there. So that's how you make some quick and easy feed, some nutrients for your plants, whether it's out of store-bought compost or it's out of compost directly from your home garden. Personally, I recommend organic. Always check the back of the bag. Don't forget to check out the rest of my videos. There's more to come. So until next time, Jason with Toadstool Gardens. Happy growing.